Sellout crowd here at Starfire Soccer Field in Tukwila, Washington, here for the NWSL Championship. And the fans are up for this one. The Seattle Reign finished the year 16-2-6, taking on FC Kansas City, who ended up second in the table at 12-7-5. There is the head coach, Vlatko Andonovski of FC Kansas City. And he has put together the two most consistent seasons without a title. Last year was the 2013 NWSL Coach of the Year. And he today is looking to pull off the victory. Laura Harvey has done the unimaginable, maybe, has changed this team from a non-playoff team to a team that is now in the final. 34 years of age, coached at the Arsenal Ladies in Birmingham in England, and her lineup is star-studded and full of international riches here today. Your referee is Margaret Domka. Seattle is in black and blue. FC Kansas City in white. Beautiful temperature, 63 degrees here on the artificial surface. And it's game on here for a title. Seattle taking on FC Kansas City. Two semifinals that were both very, very dramatic for a variety of reasons. Lauren Barnes getting the start in the middle for Kate Dynas. She was moved inside so that Ellie Reed could come into the right back position for Seattle, Julie.
And that's big for Seattle to get Reed back, injured for the last semifinal game. And she gives them a balance. Laura Harvey says when she's in the lineup, she gives us an offensive balance, a defensive balance, and that's our best back four.
Winners won the header. And I might say, the center back, Kate Dynas, had a wonderful game in the semifinal against Washington, so it's got to be tough on a player like that not to get into this final. Fishlock over the top. And off her line, the very talented, longtime U.S. national team goalkeeper, Nicole Barnhart.
And an early look already of Seattle's game plan, how they've done it all season. They've been so successful with that front six in that 4-3-3, pressing high defensively and immediately, and it's so tough for teams to break out of that.
Complete turnaround for Seattle, a ton of new acquisitions, including Sydney Larue, Kim Little, the league MVP, a Scottish international. Talent all over here for both of these teams today. That was Erica Timrack now on the ball, trying to get turned on Reed, who pushed higher up the field. It'll be a throw in for FC Kansas City.
And for Kansas City, they're going to have to deal in the first 10 minutes with the pace at which Seattle comes at them. Kansas City, like Seattle, is used to holding the ball, controlling the tempo.
And this is the reason why. Number 12, Lauren Holiday, with 8 goals and 7 assists. Let's talk a little bit about that combination, Lauren Holiday and Amy Rodriguez, and how dangerous they can be, Julie.
Well, Amy Rodriguez, the lone striker for Kansas City, and with her pace, as we've seen this season, 14 goals.
Back to that in a minute. Here's Little, the league MVP now, blazing down the right side, cuts the cross back to the far post. Rapinoe was in there, so was Sydney Larue, and that's how fast it can break out.
And that's the danger of Kim Little coming out of that midfield seam. She plays right in behind those front three, but loves to wander in behind the defense.
Switch of play here. 13 is Kendall Fletcher. Very talented center back. It's one back. Here's Timrack now.
And for Amy Rodriguez, her pace pulls at that back line deeper.
Holiday. That's stripped by Winners. Little is dumped. No call. Rapinoe trying to get in there. And Fishlock will knock it back. She's liable to cover every blade of this artificial surface today. Kawasumi knocked it back. We haven't even talked about her, the talented Japanese international. Here's the big switch. And Reed is not going to get there. The idea, good one, just overhit.
And a good sign for Seattle that Ellie Reed, their right back, getting forward out of that 4-3-3, because that means the outside midfielders for Kansas City are going to have to play defense. That chess match of Who's going to mark? Who's going to have to track the whole time?
Huge tackle like a thief in the night, Fishlock. And here she is again. How impressive a season she has had, the Welsh international. Kendall Fletcher with a big switch, an accurate ball here. Larue has picked up a pocket of space here to Rapinoe. Rapinoe picks the head up, drives it in across the face of goal. Angling in on the run was Kawasumi, the Japanese international.
And that Kawasumi on the right side for Seattle, Coleman, the left back for Kansas City. That is going to be a fun matchup to watch tonight.
Jenna Richmond plays it forward. And here is the playmaker, Lauren Holiday. That's not a bad ball from Holiday. First little glimpse there of her combination with the very talented Amy Rodriguez. Holiday can play make. 3 goals and 2 assists in 7 games against Seattle for Holiday, and Amy Rodriguez 13 goals this year. And they can hold the ball themselves. As I say that, they give it away. Keelan Winters, Rapinoe broken up. I mean, I think both you and I were pretty astounded how fast the pace of the semifinal Seattle-Washington game was.
And Seattle loves that high-tempoed, high-pressure, and they can play at that pace. Kansas City, it doesn't suit them as much. They're going to have to try and slow it down. Play at a pace that more fits them, which is a bit slower for Kansas City.
Yeah, we talked to Vlatko Andonovski, the coach of FC Kansas City, about that, and he said, well, it's got to be some pressure of our own. It's got to be good ball possession, timely moments to slow down on set pieces. Reed, here's Kim Little, so talented. What a skill set she has. At a point in this season where she scored in 6 consecutive games. You want dependability from a goal scorer. Rapinoe, who had the game winner in the semifinal. Barnhart is off her line. The Olympic gold medalist to back up out of Stanford. 9 shutouts this year. Larue has won it back. Here's an example of that pressing play, Julie.
And Seattle's so committed to that pressing play. That 3 front, immediately all locked in on winning the ball back. And it's so hard for a team like Kansas City to set play when they've got 3, 4 defenders immediately pressing on them.
And here is Seattle squeezing the play in and winning the ball back again. Fishlock. Winters, who's been so impressive, played over in Germany. She had 3 goals on the year. Little with a deft touch to create some space for herself now. Fishlock kills that beautifully off her chest. Reed now. Ball possession owned by Seattle. Driven ball into the box. Larue is there. She'll get up. Second ball is cleared by Kansas City. Winters. AC thought they had a foul. 1-2 at the top of the box is broken up. Sauerbrunn and Phillips have a huge job in the middle here today. Holiday. Under pressure, trying to play that one forward, and it's one back there. Great determined defending from Stephanie Cox. And it'll be a free kick, Seattle.
When you asked Laura Harvey what was the biggest reason outside of the obvious of all this talent acquisition she had in the offseason, what's the biggest reason for their turnaround this season? She says the grit at which my team is committed to play. And you can see it on all 3 lines.
Well, all we got to do is go back to the semifinal and show the character that they showed to come back in that game. Solo coming up with a huge save on a penalty kick.
And Seattle, for all their talent, they have given up early goals this season, but constantly coming back from being down early.
Well-drilled, well-coached unit. Second ball headed away by Holiday. This is a wonderful example of the women's game in the NWSL here on display. Ellie Reed also played in Germany. These players, in an effort to find the professional game, have gone to a number of different countries, have played in a number of different leagues. Pretty much everybody on these teams, except for those that are first-year players. There's a good look at Cindy Larue.
And Cindy Larue has been interesting to watch this season because she only has her 5 goals. And her production in front of goal has decreased this year, but she's played a different role than she did at Boston last year. Last year, she was the counter-attacking, similar to an Amy Rodriguez, leading the line with her pace. She's had to develop that game around that 3 front and more back to pressure, holding the ball. She says it's been great for her development.
Kawasumi trying to get there, shielded off beautifully. And that's some good defending from Cassie Coleman, who won an under-20 world title with the United States in Japan. Kawasumi is that crossing machine on the right side.
And so good with her movement off the ball. Constantly checking defenders away and then coming back, creating little angles.
Here's Coleman now. Seattle again won the regular season title with 4 games to go. It was a historic season. Most points, wins, goals scored, goals against average the best at 0.83 under Laura Harvey, and it's certainly a team. There is no doubt this is a well-drilled team with all these stars playing under the guise of what the manager wants, the coach wants. It is a collective team. Cox to Rapinoe, and that's going to run out of play. Coverage of Major League Soccer continues next Sunday on ESPN2. The Portland Timbers traveling to San Jose to take on the Earthquakes, a key Western Conference matchup. Major League Soccer presented by 5 Hour Energy next Sunday at 5 p.m. on ESPN2. You can also watch it on Watch ESPN. Fishlock. Kawasumi, Seattle owning the ball in this one so far. Holiday, wonderful little ball with the outside of her foot. Wow, they almost played Rodriguez in. They squeezed in the 2 center backs to cut that out. But that's how quickly a chance can be developed for Kansas City. Sauerbrunn stepping forward, the NWSL Defender of the Year.
And for Kansas City, they're not going to have the ball as much as they're used to having. And this is a really possession-oriented team, both of these. But Kansas City, they often talk about how everything runs through Holiday. So it will be interesting to see how they deal with not having that possession and chasing a lot of this game.
They were 3rd defensively in the league, and that is something they're going to have passing grades here today, both individually and collectively from the defensive side. Seattle off the throw here. Little. Just the control is exceptional. And Reed ran out of space here. Throw in from Coleman. Left back, only 22 years of age. Already in a final here. Year 2 of the NWSL. Year 1 was about getting up and started. Year 2 is about continuing to grow the league here. And this is quite the showcase here today. Kendall Fletcher just loves to defend, according to Laura Harvey, has brought that real grit and determination and attitude to the back line of Seattle. Here she is on the ball now. Little shifting and changing direction. Reed to Fishlock.
Seattle's just a different quality in terms of tight spaces. and their ability to still control it, find players quickly.
Pino gets turned. Sauerbrunn reads it beautifully. She was going to have to commandeer it from the back here today. Kawasumi now showing up in the middle of the field. So much interchanging going on. That shot is off the mark. Julie, talk a little bit about all the interchanging that Seattle does with all these versatile players.
And you can see Buskowski and Sauerbrunn right there trying to sort it out. And that's the challenge, because you have 6 players running at you and they're coming from deeper seams. They're not just that front 3 that's interchanging. And we know how midfielders don't like to necessarily track that run out of midfield. I never loved it. So that's a challenge. Are you passing on? Are you having to track?
Rodriguez. A chance here for Amy Rodriguez. She's now pulled out wide here. Has lost her angle, but there's 3 players getting in the box for Kansas City, and wisely she elects to hold it up here. A little confidence through passing maybe. Takes a deflection, and it's Hope Solo, who has rarely touched it here in the first half.
But a glimpse early on of the pace of Rodriguez and the danger she presents on that counter. If she can just get one little touch in, she can bust through that back line quickly.
And just back to that question about the interchanging of positions. They never lose their team shape, so everybody's got this incredible awareness of where everybody else is.
And defensively for Kansas City, we saw it in the semifinal against Portland, which plays with similar talented players. Vero from Spain, their great playmaker.
Boy, how exciting has she been this year? It's been the year of the central midfield player in this league.
And they had one shot, Portland, with all that talent, one shot on goal to tell you how good this Kansas City defense is. And that's all because of Becky Sauerbrunn, the #4 center back, U.S. national team player who her coach says is the best defender in the world, and there are not many people who would argue with that one.
29 years of age, Sauerbrunn again was voted the NWSL Defender of the Year. Here's Winters, one of the unsung heroes for Seattle. Who's not afraid to join in on occasion herself. Ball swung in. It's cleared by Nikki Phillips, who plays alongside Sauerbrunn in the middle. And let's talk about good goalkeeping as well. There's Becky Sauerbrunn. 3 matches at the London Olympics, winning the gold medal. Played in the 2011 Women's World Cup. Native of St. Louis. Boy, Megan Rapinoe had that just spectacular game-winning goal in the semifinal. Example of pure power after she stripped the defender. And Washington, boy, they were a game opponent in that semifinal and actually had the game's first goal. Very determined and outstanding team. Larue. Winters to Cox now. Reed stretching it out here on the near side of the field to bring a little bit of width. Well, that's the other thing. They can attack from anywhere, Julie.
I know. Each defender equally adept on the ball.
It can come from wide areas. It can come from central areas. Holiday, this Jenna Richmond, who played at UCLA, plays it wide. Here's that quick pressing play. They don't give you a lot of time to get your head up and get comfortable. That's a good switch, though, and that's the ball that needed to be made here. It's Cassie Coleman now. Leads to this counterattack. She'll get it wide to Erica Timrak. He squares it into the back post. Looked a little bit more dangerous than maybe we thought. Merritt Mathias getting to the back post there. So maybe that's one of the selective moments they need to produce.
And the key is breaking that initial pressure and then finding the opposite side, because then you have some space, because Seattle sends so many numbers to pressure ball. If Kansas City can make that 3rd pass, that 4th pass, and then switch it quickly, you can see how it opens up for them with Coleman on that left side coming forward. Easier said than done, though, Glenn.
Solo, 33 years of age, the two-time gold medalist off the goal kick, had that huge save off a penalty kick in the semifinals. Game-changing moment. Sauerbrunn now for Kansas City. And there's another one of her strengths, his distribution. That's the center back that can pass the ball. It works out. Richmond tries to play it inside, turns the defender. Beautifully defended by Stephanie Cox, who had an assist on the year.
And you feel a little bit of a momentum shift here for Kansas City. They weathered that first 15, 20 minutes in the pace of Seattle, and now they're playing more of their tempo.
Holiday now orchestrating, gets it wide. They do have players in the box. Timrak was trying to break through. Right-footed shot, what a hit, just grazing off the side of the crossbar from Jenna Richmond.
Good initial pressure, a bad clear, and Richmond there with the first touch and volley to try and get something on frame. Nice little first touch and hits it. Oh, and that's the one weakness of Seattle, is they have these moments where they give up some early chances. We saw it in the semifinal against Washington. We've seen it earlier in the season for them.
Well, there's so much activity out of their midfielders. Is it easy for defenders sometimes to sort of get lulled out of a game, maybe, when you're in possession that long? I know you're not supposed to.
Well, I think they get so much movement as well from their outside backs forward that you have a lot of responsibility falling on those two center backs for Seattle when they turn over the ball. Their shape is sometimes.
Yeah, a day like today, when they're going to have a lot of the ball, it may be an exercise in focus and concentration for center backs. Would have been something there if Kansas City produced the first goal of this game. But you said, Julie, they've weathered the storm and have gained confidence here. And here's Holiday now. Rodriguez pulling away on the left. She finds Rodriguez. It's a chance to make it 1-0, and she does. Amy Rodriguez, FC Kansas City, with the stunning first goal here in the 22nd minute.
And how about that? Seattle pretty much has the first 20 minutes of this game, and then Kansas City finds itself exactly how they want to be. Lauren Holiday running at that back line. And look at the patience of Amy Rodriguez. She busts wide, and Holiday finding her with the perfectly paced ball. Rodriguez, what a beauty to wait. Hope goes down a little bit solo, and she finds it over her. Beautiful goal.
Goal worthy of a final. Amy Rodriguez had 13 this year, along with 3 assists. It was only a year ago she gave birth to a baby, son Ryan. The two-time gold medalist is a goal-scoring machine.
Yeah, missed the entire last year having her boy.
Larue, it's a bad back pass. We'll get back to that in a second. Nice idea with the back heel.
Missed the entire last season having her son Ryan, and comes back just on fire this year. And finishing and holding the ball, playing so well.
Over the top, Little's gonna get there. Little, shot a save. It's kicked away from Barnhart. Who uses her feet to make that save on the league MVP, Little. Fletcher, Kawasumi now. Tries to self-pass, but it's one back. Good defending there from Jen Buskowski, so important to the balance of this midfield. And here's Jenna Richmond, plays away from pressure. Leanne Robinson forward. Matthias, and a corner for Kansas City, who have started this game probably in as perfect a way as they would have liked here, getting the game's first goal.
And on their back foot, as we mentioned, for the first 15 minutes, but you can see now having the confidence to break the pressure, and that results on the other side with a corner kick.
driven towards the near post. And that's delivery hit with venom. That only needs to be redirected. It's the power of Lauren Holiday off the corner there. Jenna Richmond. Here's Richmond again, had an ACL injury in 2008. Reed will knock it forward. Stepping up to win the header there was Nikki Phillips. Born in the United States, but capped 5 times by Poland. Kawasumi, Larue to her right. Tries to wait the pass in behind, and Sauerbrunn there. Flying off her line was Nicole Barnhart, but Sauerbrunn with the lateral cover.
Barnhart's so good at reading that through ball and not even letting a shot come on goal.
It'll be a goal kick. Julie, you dug up a very good nugget about Kansas City this year not having the ability to come back in games, so it's a good sign they scored first here today.
Have never come back to win a game in which they've trailed this season, which is amazing to me. So it is a great sign for Vlatko Andonovski that his team is actually leading this one. But for Seattle, this is a team that's used to coming from behind. They've done it a lot this season and done it well. They remind me actually of the U.S. women's national team and the way they came back from Olympics, World Cups, 2011, 2012. It didn't matter how many goals.
Yeah, they did not panic even when they went behind against Washington in the semifinal. This is a very strong and confident team here that deals with situations as they arise. And of course, we all know they can craft a chance out of nothing with the amount of talent they have out here, including that young woman, Megan Rapinoe. And I do love how Fishlock and Rapinoe like to try and confuse us with their haircut.
Thank goodness they have different colored boots.
Good look at Keelan Winters, who has just been such a wonderful positional player in midfield for Seattle. Fishlock slaloming through players here at will. Will get it wide. Kawasumi's got to head up, one of the best crossers of a ball in the world. This time it's helped on and away by Merritt Mathias, back defending, who played at Texas A&M. Well, your eyes get drawn to Kawasumi when she's on the ball. Rapinoe, Larue will knock it back. Kendall Fletcher. Rodriguez, the game's goal scorer. Difference here, a 22nd minute goal by Amy Rodriguez. Reed. Fletcher, Lauren Barnes knocked it forward. Little takeover there from Rapinoe. Kim Little. turns so quick, gets the delivery in. Larue's header. Check that. Kawasumi's header goes wide. It was delivered on a platter by Kim Little, the league MVP.
And this all started from a Megan Rapinoe defensive win. The forward, and then dishing it to Little, and Little so dangerous in the box, finding Kawasumi on that back post, and that's just something that has to be finished. You don't get that many good, clean looks. Barnhart was caught at the near post, that back post wide open for you.
Kawasumi had 9 goals on the year. Silver medalist at the London Olympics for Japan. Clear missed opportunity. Free kick, Kansas City.
Rodriguez playing defense on her side of the ball as well. Keelan Winters, she's saying, grabbed her around the neck, get tangled up. You can see both of them jostling on that one. Rodriguez was motioning to the referee that she had her on the neck.
Lauren Holiday to take the free kick, and it's driven in. Second ball, Rapinoe's going to get there for Seattle. Again, Seattle in the black and blue. Kansas City in the white. NWSL championship here today. Seattle ending the regular season on top at 16-2-6. Kansas City second at 12-7-5. Fishlock to Little. Holiday is going to get called for the foul as her counterpart, Keelan Winters, getting fouled.
Winters getting abused a little bit in that midfield there defensively. And Jessica Fishlock, number 10, so good on both sides of the ball.
Kawasumi is so shifty, can change direction with a ball like that. Little. And my apologies, that was Ellie Reed. Kansas City here, 32nd minute. Glenn Davis alongside U.S. national team legend Julie Foudy. Tukwila, Washington. This is a Starfire soccer complex. Straight ball towards Larue. Barnhart will call off her defenders and collect. For all your NWSL championship coverage, visit ESPNW.com. Check out Graham Hayes' on-site coverage from here, plus ESPNW.com, providing an inside look at some of the league's top stars, including Seattle's Kim Little. It's all online right now at ESPNW.com. Rapinoe.
We'll be doing some post-game interviews as well that will be on ESPNW.com.
Julie's going to
get down to the field, getting
all
dirty.
The inside stuff after this game, so make sure you get over to the website, ESPNW.com. Squared to the top of the box, shooting opportunity maybe. It's going to be hit, and the contact not the best from Ellie Reed. It's easily handled by Nicole Barnhart. The applause of the Seattle fans.
Fishlock so busy getting in that box, finding players, leading so much of that charge for the Reign, offensively and defensively. And a player that was here last year, so lived through that tough season, finishing second to last, lost their first 9 out of 10 games.
Timrak holds it up. Holiday quickly got doubled. Winters tries to get out of there. Coming across now is Nikki Phillips. Coleman. Wiskowski. And Fletcher for Seattle now. Dominant possession here in the first half from Seattle, but It has been a good collective effort from FC Kansas City. And they have looked dangerous and efficient with their moments. And it's a chance for them to break out right now. Richmond. Wiskowski coming back was Kawasumi to make the defensive play. For Seattle, they win it back winners now. Jenna Richmond. It's a good penetrating pass there to Rodriguez. To Holiday. Back towards Rodriguez. Floated in a beautiful ball. And forces a big defensive play from Kendall Fletcher. And he gets a little nudge there from Amy Rodriguez.
And Holiday, anytime she gets that ball in that final third, it's as if Kansas City's getting a shot on goal, they're getting a chance on goal.
And they are telepathic, Rodriguez and Holiday. Just constantly looking to each other. And here's Holiday now coming deeper in midfield. Fishlock got a touch on it, but it's led to this, to the near post. Steered wide. And getting in there again was Amy Rodriguez, who nearly picked up a second here for FC Kansas City.
And a great sign for Kansas City. Again, they're getting numbers forward, getting numbers around Amy Rodriguez, making a good near post run, building confidence as they try and close out this first half with that 1-0 lead.
And Leanne Robinson got forward on the right side. Maybe not a day where she's going to get forward as much as she likes, but she's a player that you've noted loves to get into the attack.
And so important that they get those outside backs forward and push those outside midfielders forward, because if you play with that one front and Amy Rodriguez is isolated like that, it's just too hard to actually get any offense generated like that. So you got to hold the ball, get those outside flank players forward. And you're seeing Kansas City do a better job of that as this first half wears down.
Here is Robinson, played over 2,000 minutes this year. One of only 9 players in the league. Also, Jenna Buskowski did the same. Little spins out of that beautifully. Little shot is blocked. But that improvisation and that level of entertainment you get from her on the ball is impressive. .38th minute. Kansas City 1, Seattle 0. Larue. Little. Robinson stepped up.
And here's the beauty of Little and how she can win the ball in tight spaces. Pressure constantly on her. Great skills to get around Richmond. And it's just that final product for Seattle. They're just not connecting cleanly on that final one.
Barnhart off her line. It's blocked by Kawasumi, and it'll go out of play. So it'll be a throw in Kansas City here in the 39th minute. And they so dearly want to get to the locker room holding a 1-0 lead. Fishlock, Little now. Winners. Stephanie Cox. His teams met 3 times during the regular season. 2 draws and a 3-2 Seattle win.
And noting that the two draws, Kansas City went up a goal in both of them, and Seattle came back to tie them. So again, Seattle, not a stranger to having to fight back and claw back from being in a hole. Sure helps when you have that front six to to go at defenders too.
Yeah.
I'll crawl in a hole with those front six too.
Just amazing how much time their midfield spends in the attacking third of the field. Sydney Larue. Read beautifully by Cassie Coleman, who defends it wonderfully.
Coleman in her rookie year out of Florida State, an under-20 Women's World Cup player. She's the left back for Kansas City. Didn't even play as an outside back in college and on the youth national teams. And you can see just how good she is defensively. So hard to get around. In a position she's not even familiar with. They've had to grow her on that outside back position this year.
Yeah, she's essentially a center back playing left back. Not that you would have known that if you hadn't been familiar with her. Looks very comfortable there. Kawasumi has found some space running at Kansas City. Little circulating the ball quickly. Rapinoe. Rapinoe. Shot and a save, Barnhart. Had a good look at it. Held it clean, but Rapinoe getting off one of her first shots of the game here.
And Rapinoe, she's not going to be afraid to crack it. I think that is a little bit optimistic, though, with Barnhart. The understudy, essentially, to Hope Solo for so many years on the U.S. women's national team. We saw her earlier kick save on Kim Little, Barnhart, and how good she was there.
Barnhart has amassed 54 caps with the U.S. Rapinoe kind of with the blind ball there, and it almost worked out. Sauerbrunn under pressure from Cox, has to concede the throw here. 42nd minute. Little, besieged by defenders, goes down. Punch of the fist in the air by Rapinoe, who wanted a penalty. And certainly Margaret Domke has let this one go a little bit here. It is a physical affair here, not a lot of fouls being called.
I like that. Otherwise, you find so many times it just ruins the rhythm of a game.
Coleman tucked in beautifully, defensive header here. Kansas City under a little bit more of an urgent siege here. Larue tried to get in there. Sauerbrunn got there first. Everything being laid on the line here for this title. Reed. Fishlock's shot was blocked. And here's his pressing play. They win it back right away again. And finally,
Coleman again there on that back post with Kawasumi. But the pressure of Seattle, once they lose it, immediate pressure, so hard to build out of.
Holiday. Look at that combination play to get out of that. Here's Holiday. She's not going to get there, though. Stepping up was Fletcher. ESPN FC is the place for comprehensive coverage of all that's happening in the world of soccer. Get the latest news, stats, info, and all your favorite teams and players. ESPN FC tonight at midnight on ESPN2 and also live on Watch ESPN. Vlatko Andonovski, only 37 years of age.
And I think if you're Kansas City at halftime, you talk about needing to hold it a little bit more.
Tim Rack's shot is headed away.
Slowing the pace of this game down. They're not going to want to deal with that Seattle pace for another 45 minutes. And especially chasing the ball as much as you end up doing. That's exhausting.
Sauerbrunn will play it wide. has been an alteration to next year's schedule. The 20-game schedule, they're going to have a 2-week break during the Women's World Cup in Canada. More weekend games, a March to September format for the NWSL. It'll be a free kick Seattle. Sort of makes this game even more interesting with the Women's World Cup right around the corner, Julie.
Yeah, and that's a hard balance. I mean, you love the exposure of having a World Cup year and the extra exposure it gives you, but it's also a challenge in terms of how you lose so many internationals to it. Every league, though, has to deal with it. It's also a challenge to the players playing that many games. We've never won a World Cup, the United States, in a year that we've had a professional league.
Yeah, I can see that in MLS as some of the guys coming back from the World Cup finally getting their second win now here around playoff time. The Clint Dempseys and the Brad Davises and others in Major League Soccer. That'll do it here in the first half. Entertaining, certainly here. There was your game's goal scorer, the 22nd minute. The talented, dangerous striker, Amy Rodriguez for Kansas City, getting the lone goal. First half thoughts, Julie.
I thought after that first 15 minutes, Kansas City settled down, and they're just so dangerous with the Holiday, Amy Rodriguez combination that even if they don't have the ball, they're going to create some difficult chances for Seattle.
Let's go now to the head coach of FC Kansas City, Vlatko Andonovski. Well, Vlatko, you're positioned well here after 45 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the score is going going our way, and you know, we finally settled down after the first 15-20 minutes. We knew that they're going to step up hard. We knew that they're going to step up high, and we managed to bounce off and start possessing the ball a little bit and connecting that third pass. Third pass is the key. We talked about it the whole week, and I think that we started getting that one.
Coach, what will be some of the things you address at halftime in terms of keys for the second half?
First and foremost, we cannot lose the ball in critical area in between the circle, the circle, top of the circle, and top of the box. That's the area when we lost the ball 3 or 4 times, and that's when they're most dangerous. They're quick on transition, and they can score quick goals. So that's one thing, and then another thing is we gotta connect now, not just the third and the fourth pass, but we gotta up the string of passes, maybe to 5 and 6, and slow the whole pace a little bit down.
Vlatko, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Vlatko Andonovski, 37 years of age, a former professional soccer player in Macedonia, came to the U.S., was the 2013 NWSL Coach of the Year. 1-0 Kansas City. Let's take a look at the first half stats, Julie.
And the 2 shots doesn't look like a lot for Kansas City, but my goodness, one, of course, the goal, and the second one hits that crossbar. So although limited looks for Kansas City, they were great looks for them. And Seattle, of course, with the majority of the offensive play. But that's the thing about Kansas City is they don't need a lot of looks when you have a Lauren Holiday and an Amy Rodriguez leading the line for you.
Yeah, Julie, it's... I mean, they can play against 5 and carve out chances.
And they're going to want exactly what they saw on that goal. They're going to talk about at halftime. Lauren Holiday running at that back line, because then everything just opens up for Kansas City.
Huge second half here, 45 minutes to go. Laura Harvey, her parents flew in for this game. Father was a coach who coached in England, also a scout with the Football Association, a PE teacher, and taught Laura Harvey how to watch the game by getting her to focus on watching what was going on off the ball and not on it. It's a big day for her here to try and close this out. And on the other hand, we're talking about Kansas City, who has been the model of consistency for 2 years, Julie, looking for their first title.
Yeah, they were expected to be in the final last season, lost in that semifinal after going up 2 goals. So that's something that rubs a little raw for them, losing leads, because they saw how it knocked them out of the final last year. And Andonovski talked about it being a theme all year for them.
Game on here in the second half. FC Kansas City in white, the Seattle Reign in black and blue. The referee, Margaret Domka. assisted by Marlene Duffy and Danielle Chesky. This is where last year the Seattle Reign played, here at Starfire. Their games this year in Memorial Stadium. Today a big concert going on there, so the venue had to be moved here. But a wonderfully intimate atmosphere here, Julie, worthy of a final.
And one they're very familiar with, having played last season here.
It's also where the Seattle Sounders of Major League Soccer do their training in this complex as well. Can Laura Harvey get this goal-scoring machine up and running here in the second half and get some end product? That's the question. For Kansas City, can they see this game continue to break their way? Timrak, that's a good ball. Here's Rodriguez now at the top of the box. She does have power. Solo handles it easily.
And Rodriguez causing that back line fits because she's running across. She's running horizontal across that line. In the goal, Fletcher tried to step up. There you saw her getting one-on-one with Fletcher again.
And it's going to need to be another good defensive effort for Kansas City. Vlatko Andonovski, their head coach, said he was happy with the defending against Portland in the semifinal. He said it was the perfect showcase of a 4-2-3-1. It's going to need to be perfect here today. That whipped in cross to the back post. Trying to spear it in at an angle was Kawasumi.
And Rapinoe, who was just limp in moments before, looks like she's okay with a beauty across. We've seen her do that on the national team so many times. Kawasumi stabbing at it, just not getting enough. But service from the flanks, from both sides. Kawasumi can do the same from the right side for Seattle. Is going to be dangerous for Kansas City in the second half.
Kansas City, Timrak now stops on a dime, spins out of there. Holiday, Winners. And out of play it goes. It'll be a throw in Kansas City here, whose mental toughness is going to have to match Keelan Winners and Seattle for another 45 minutes if they want to win this title. Holiday trying to break through, broken up. Rapinoe has found a lot of space here. Larue pulling off to the left. And a very vital touch there out of midfield from Jen Buskowski, who kills off that attack.
And Buskowski, number 6, and number 7, Richmond, for Kansas City, sitting in that deep holding position, trying to kill any of that counter. Doing a really good job all season, sitting in front of that back four.
Richmond with a wonderful touch there. Quickly closed down by Winners. Rapinoe after the tackle won by Fishlock. Larue. Nice driven ball here. It's one of the other things that's been impressive, but we'll get back to that in a second. Here's Rapinoe. You never want to talk over her, and she's going to earn the corner. She is an engine that never stops. Rapinoe, and it's Sauerbrunn, the NWSL Defender of the Year, again coming up with an important intervention. Seattle off the corner. Kawasumi to take it. Ball driven in, and that's bread and butter stuff for Nicole Barnhart, the 32-year-old. 1.31 goals against average. Quickly distributes. Rodriguez at the tip of the spear. And that's who you want to get the ball to. And that's another great ball here from Holiday. He's gotten this wide to Leanne Robinson. My apologies, that was Coleman. Rodriguez is there, ball spills. Holiday trying to get there. Holiday thought it was a corner, but it is a goal kick here. Margaret Domka pointing to Seattle's 6-yard box.
And a good sign for Kansas City that Richmond and Timrack, 2 of that middle 3 for Kansas City, getting involved, because that means getting involved offensively. That means Fishlock and Winters have to stay deeper.
Beautifully read by Sauerbrunn. Matthias. Kansas City now some good possession of their own, building some confidence, broken up by Fishlock. Gets her head up, drives it on the dime right on the chest of Rapinoe. Rapinoe trying to get past Becky Sauerbrunn, who's now pulled out of the middle. Larue. Larue shot took a deflection and cleared by Kansas City. Cox aggressive to win it back. Larue. Holiday's going to pick it up now. Holiday and Rodriguez domineering at times here. Matthias. Cox, beautiful defending.
Cox on that left side, that left back for Seattle. We've seen her do it on the national team so many times, but up and down that flank. Both sides of the ball.
Stepping in beautifully was Buskowski. Seems to me Kansas City, wow, they give it away here to Fishlock. Kawasumi now. Naho. Fishlock brought down, free kick time. Dangerous area right outside the 18 now for Seattle.
Fishlock picking it up with a rare giveaway by Richmond in the middle. And then so good in tight spaces, just drawing that foul top of the box.
It's the area Vlatko Andonovski talked to us about, not losing the ball with the likes of all this talent. Kim Little stands over it.
Little, the leading goal scorer in the league, 17 goals.
Rapinoe is there as well. It's Little, shot the save. Hit with great power. Then through a maze of bodies, held wonderfully by Nicole Barnhart with the clean handling.
And those, Glenn, as you know, are not as easy as they look going through that traffic, and you can't see much there for Barnhart.
Pino acting as the decoy, and here is Holiday. Cox to Rapinoe, now Fishlock, the Welsh international. That one broken up. Boy, how underrated is Cox? Not by her teammates, that's for sure. Matthias comes back and wins it beautifully. Sauerbrunn. It's a bad giveaway, though. Rare one from such a decorated player. Here's Little now. And then look at Holiday back defending, Julie. She's doing the work.
She's doing it on both sides. Takes a toll, though.
Offside flag was up. ESPN2's coverage of international soccer continuing next Tuesday, 10 Eastern time. The Mexican national team taking on Bolivia from Dick's Sporting Goods Park. That's Tuesday, September 9th game, also available live on Watch ESPN. It is Mexico's third visit to Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City. Back on March 11th, 2009, they beat Bolivia 5-1. Holiday, great use of the body there to protect the ball, getting into the box, still weaving, has slipped through 2. Can she get a shot? If no, lays it back. It's 2-0. What a finish. Amy Rodriguez, after solo time, from Lauren Holiday.
And we know Jill Ellis, U.S. Women's National Team, is in the stands watching this today, and this will be something she is delighted about, because Holiday, look at this skill. Keeling Winters, one of the best defenders in this league. She walks by both of them and then has the presence to find Amy Rodriguez in that seam. Barnes on her other shoulder, and Rodriguez once again, given the few looks she's had in this game, making sure she puts that one in the back of the net. And that's been the difference for Kansas City, those two players and finishing those chances.
In all aspects here. And it is 2-0 FC Kansas City. Here's Winters now.
And what a test for Seattle. We've heard all season about their ability to come back, but to come back against one of the best defensive lines in this league is going to be a tall task.
Well, they can score goals in bunches. They've done it before. But if you're FC Kansas City, you got to be feeling it now that this is your title to be won. Goal coming in the 56th minute.
And what just a beautiful display of skills by Holiday to draw all those defenders and then find that little seam. And Rodriguez coming into this next national team camp being out of the mix for the last year. She's really making a case herself to get back into that starting three.
Both goals here today for FC Kansas City. The architect on both of them. Again, we go back to prior meetings. August 2nd, Seattle and FC Kansas City 1-1. May 21st, back further, 1-1. And then back on May 14th, Seattle 3-2 over FC Kansas City. Winners. Cox. Little's going to earn a free kick here. 59th minute. They are explosive, Seattle. This one is far from over, but this is the way Zlatko Andonovski has wanted this game to go. Little plays it into the box, speared away. Second ball is going to fall to the top of the box. It's Kim Little now, the Scottish international, the league MVP. And it comes again. Boy, just voracious attacking of the ball by the Kansas City backline, Julie.
That backline in the semifinal and this game have been so organized, solid, great 1v1 defending. Hard to get around. You look at Seattle's bench, it took Laura Harvey until the 84th minute to go to it in that semifinal match. Bev Goebel coming in, but what a player you can bring in. She played at Bayern Munich the last 3 seasons. 5 goals, 4 assists. Sorry, not at Bayern Munich, at Leonessa with Kawasumi in Japan.
26-year-old is a real option. Always in contention to get a start. Here it is, played wide, and the offside flag is up. But again, we see FC Kansas City in a decent attacking posture there. That was Merritt Mathias pulling forward. Played 2 seasons at UNC in college before transferring to Texas A&M. He's been a U.S. under-23 international. As much as we've talked about the focus of Seattle, boy, the focus and how organized FC Kansas City has been impressive as well. Here's Rapinoe, squares it to the back post. And Coleman tucking in beautifully. Totally alert was Coleman to get to that back post first. And here she is on the ball now, pressed by Kawasumi.
You ask coaches about Kawasumi and her positioning, they say she's a different class. Her movement off the ball is so hard for defenders to stay with, and we've seen Coleman today in every situation, goal side of her, near post, in position.
Wonderful give and go, some circulation of the ball here from Kansas City. Very impressive here to get it wide to number 13, Leanne Robinson. And she'll put it out of play. A player down on the far side of the field. Is the game's 2-goal scorer, Amy Rodriguez.
Here is what happened just a little earlier. Hard to tell from that.
Something that has impressed me today is the weight and how hard these passes are being hit here today, Julie. From crosses to switches of play, just the velocity of some of these passes here today and how hard they're hit. Getting the ball to people quicker has been impressive.
And that first touch, how clean it is all over the place.
Yeah, what a display this is for the NWSL. Year number 2. This does not look good for FC Kansas City. Amy Rodriguez is coming out of this game. Right now they're playing with 10 players. But this is a huge moment here. Rodriguez has scored twice. She's vital in the build-up and the hold-up play and taking pressure off people just by holding the ball.
Well, the good news for Kansas City is, though, they, similar to Goebel for Seattle, they have a similar, very good option from the bench, Sarah Hagen. Hagen is the one who had played at Bayern Munich for the last 3 years, came over middle of the season. They actually switched their formation in the middle of the season to try and accommodate Hagen in that lineup, going with a 2 front. Found they were just more successful with the 1 front. But she's more your typical target-like forward. She will hold the ball. She can keep possession. Another great option to go to for Kansas City.
Comes in the 64th minute now. They have the full complement of 11. And it's a player that's got to bring some important minutes here out of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Kawasumi to deliver here. Header from Fishlock from way out. Can't get enough power on it. Holiday. Well, that will be, if they can hold on to this 2-0 win and win this title coming to Seattle, the run from Lauren Holiday likely will become legendary off the dribble. Matthias has won it, and a little bit of a late whistle there on Barnes, but it'll be a free kick for Seattle now. 65th minute. Direct towards Larue. Sauerbrunn wins the initial header. Great sharp short passing here and play in tight areas from Kansas City, and they've released the player on the far side of the field. It's Buskowski trying to play it back into the middle to Timrak. Midfield opening up a bit. Here's Little now. Spins out of there, gets the applause of the crowd, and gets it wide here to Cox now. Cox has got Rapinoe to her left. Picks her head up. Brings into the feet of Rapinoe. Towards the end line, wicked looking cross. Defended beautifully. Tremendous defending. Nikki Phillips draped all over Sydney Larue. This one whipped in, took a deflection. Fishlock. Winners to Cox now. Oh, Little brought that down amazingly. Back to Cox now. Backing in FC Kansas City. Fishlock tried to shield it off. And again, Seattle not able to break down this FC Kansas City defense.
They have tremendous success in the buildup for Seattle, but then there's just no space. Nice balls in by Rapinoe, and as you pointed out, Glenn, just excellent positioning. Someone there contesting every cross, every ball across.
Larue off, and as Julie said, the option for Laura Harvey and Seattle. Beverly Goebel coming on, who's got 5 goals and 4 assists out of Sacramento State and the University of Miami. What an option off the bench.
And that's 20 minutes earlier than we saw in the semifinal. I think that's a good decision by Harvey. Bring in some fresh legs.
Here is Goebel. Tried to bring Little back in. Time relative to the scoreline now, slowly, potentially creeping into the minds of Seattle. 68th minute. If they could pick off the game's next goal and break down FC Kansas City, it could certainly change the momentum here.
And you get to that 70-minute mark as a player, you're down 2 goals, you think, okay, we don't want to panic, of course, but that urgency has to change. You try and strike that balance.
Rapinoe gets it to the back post, and again, Coleman coming in from the left back position to head away. Back 4 has been exceptional for FC Kansas City. Again, it's clipped into the box. It's Sauerbrunn again. They're just gobbling up all these headers. Little shot straight at Nicole Barnhart, who collapses on it.
And then you have Nicole Barnhart behind that back 4 on top of it. And I think that's where Seattle's got to get them shifting a little bit more. Pull that back 4 out of position. Good hit by Little, but against a goalkeeper like Barnhart, you're just not gonna beat her on those type of shots.
So there they absorb it a while, and now here's some good pressure, making it difficult on Seattle to get out of their own half of the field here. They have married good pressure on the ball with an incredible team shape here today. Here's Seattle with Cox now. To make that Barnes. Rapinoe. Little, the league MVP, knifing into the box, but can't get any power on the shot. Do you sense, Julie, any frustration creeping into Seattle here?
I don't yet. I've been watching for that as well, Glenn. And that, I think, is the thing that sets this team apart. And we've heard Laura Harvey, their coach, talk about it a lot this season. And we asked, where does that come from? That mentality to hang on, to push even when down. And she says, I'd like to take credit for it, but I cannot. It's innate. They're fighters. They're gritty. She said, I love that mentality about this group.
Go.
And then on top of that mentality, you have the confidence of knowing you have so many game changers on the field.
I'm sensing a little bit of a nervous edge here in the crowd here, and this is predominantly a Seattle Reign fan base, of course, because the game here is in the Pacific Northwest. Holiday Leanne Robinson. She loves to get forward. They get it into the near post. It's cleared. It'll be the throw in for Kansas City, and they're going to walk to these and take their time. Another change coming for FC Kansas City and Vlatko Andonovski. They're going to bring on Amy Lepelbit.
And this is a familiar one for them. And Lepelbit, usually when she comes in now, she doesn't come in on that back line. She comes in as someone who's going to clean up in that midfield.
2012 gold medal winner, and tremendous experience comes on the field with her.
Looks like she came in for Matthias. She'll go in that right midfield slot. It will be a straight swap, and she's going to try and shut down any service from Cox on that left side, help in the midfield, pension. Andonovski said for all the games she's played, World Cup, Olympics, this is like a kid's game.
Hagen bouncing off defenders. Doubled up in the corner, but earns Kansas City the throw. That's good work there. 72nd minute. It is 2-0. FC Kansas City over Seattle. Seattle has not lost at home all year long. Here's Holiday, the architect of both the goals, coming from Amy Rodriguez, who has been subbed out here today for Sarah Hagen. Lepelbit. And all of a sudden, FC Kansas City is getting a little bit more time on the ball too, Julie.
And able to hold it. Best way to kill off a game, as we know, hold that ball.
Boskowski's cross is blocked. She gets it to the end line. Here's Lepelbit, whips in a cross. Cut out by a good defending there of Lauren Barnes, but she's lost it to Holiday. Holiday swings it into the box. So this is some tremendous pressure here coming from FC Kansas City at precisely the right time.
And the beauty of holding it for Kansas City is when they do lose it, look where they're losing it. They're in their final third. Much better position than losing it on your back line. Stealing a page from Seattle's book.
Fishlock to Kawasumi. FC Kansas City trying to get back behind the ball. It's Sauerbrunn again, who has just marshaled this defense wonderfully today here. Goebel got knocked off it. Coleman, Richmond. Tremendous tight play here from FC Kansas City to break the pressure. Cox to Fishlock now. Fishlock driving forward. Little. Turns and faces the defense, clips it to the back post, and again it's Coleman. The left back is having a
good positionally.
Wonderful day.
Not even in her true position. And you're seeing Little is bumped up to that front line. Goebel on that front line as well. So it's almost like a 4-2-4 for Seattle.
And you're getting your decision maker on the ball, who has picked out Sarah Hagen. Whose shot is not a challenge. It'll be a goal kick. Coverage of Major League Soccer continuing next Sunday on ESPN2. Portland taking on San Jose. Key matchup in the West. Portland coming off a big victory over Vancouver last night. Major League Soccer presented by 5 Hour Energy next Sunday at 5 p.m. on ESPN2. Also available on Watch ESPN. Just like a wall of white players there that just can't be penetrated, and then all the crosses have been dealt with.
And it's this ultimate paradox because you want to start fighting balls in, but that just plays into Kansas City's hands because their back four is so good in the air. So Seattle's got to find the patience with urgency to get them shifted out of position a little bit.
Yeah, they're an immovable object today. They need a moment of brilliance. Swung and whipped over the top by Little, who wants a corner. Swiveled her hips, tried to hit it on the turn, and they need something out of the theater of the imagination from her.
And Little's been so effective in front of goal this season, but just getting under that one, not able to get over it. Needed just a little more patience to let that one drop.
She looks frustrated.
And this seems to be a theme for Seattle in that final third. We saw it against Washington with all the chances they created, but nothing on frame, not making them have to actually make a save.
Yeah, that's a great point. Nicole Barnhart has been protected wonderfully today. Fishlock. Ellie Reed, Winners now will switch it. The Pelbit will shield off Rapinoe. It'll be a goal kick. 78th minute now. It is 2-0 Kansas City, seeking out their first NWSL title.
And Seattle's going to have to start sending more players. Fishlock, Winners in the middle. There's only a one front for Kansas City. Those outside backs getting forward. You got to take some risk here with numbers. That's the only way you're going to break down that Kansas City defense.
Well, that's one way to break it down. Beat people off the dribble. Free kick. Rapinoe drew it after beating Pelbit. Pelbit's going to pick up a yellow card here.
No question about that. Nice little display by Rapinoe, getting around Pelbit, trying to run at that back line, picking up that one. But again, have to get this on frame. And after Little having taken the last two, she's going to let Rapinoe have a go at this one.
Rapinoe went for goal, used the players as a decoy, whips it back in. This is dangerous. And again, they are absolute head ball animals in the air today here, FC Kansas City. Kawasumi. Again broken up. Just so thick and heavy with white jerseys inside that penalty area. Winners. Rapinoe with an early ball. And it'll be a goal kick. Barnhart just runs past it.
And the challenge for Kansas City in these final 10 minutes, when it gets to Hagan, when it gets to Holiday, can they hold it up? Can they start getting some numbers around that ball?
Has Seattle run out of ideas here?
I think they've run against a very good back four that's organized, and the two in front of them serving as an excellent wall. So I give a lot of credit to Kansas City, but I think they're going to have to send, Seattle has to send some numbers.
And an uncharacteristic giveaway here from Keelan Winners. Jenna Richmond. You know, people may not know who Vlatko Andonovski is right now, but they're about to find out about him. And same with Laura Harvey. These are two coaches that have done outstanding jobs with their teams this year. Andonovski actually doubles as a professional indoor coach
which is a good point. This would be the trifecta for Kansas City. Comets in the indoor league, which Vlatko, as you said, coach. Sporting KC, of course, winning the MLS Cup last season.
Good time for sports in both these towns. Seattle Sounders, many people think have a great chance, and obviously do, to get to the MLS Cup final. That's what they've been missing. Is that little team called the Seahawks out here? Hagen comes back for it. Rapinoe. Get a goal here, and who knows what happens. Top of the box, beating one, but not able to beat two. Was Beverly Goebel. I think the point you made about a bunch of defenders standing on the halfway line and not pushing forward, I think it's a good one for Seattle right now, because maybe it's just about numbers.
I'm seeing Fishlock holding. She needs to clean that ball up, but there's a center back that could be doing that as well. Get forward, get those numbers in.
And that play epitomizes it. You're looking for absolute perfection here with the team dropping off that deep. And maybe that is what's going to beat it today. Seattle fans now trying to drum up a little bit of emotion here. They have been taken out of the game by the crowd. Sauerbrunn is continuing to go forward. The center back.
I love that. Showcasing just a little of her talent on the other side of the ball as well. And she can do that. She's been known to give and go all the way up that field. I'm not sure Andonovski wants her doing that in the 82nd minute, but
Kawasumi was fouled. Another free kick. Little stands over it. They load the box up. Winters is getting in there. Rapinoe's in there. Goebel's in there.
and we've got Nogueira coming in, Stanford product, who will be a target on set pieces exactly for this moment.
In it comes, and it's headed out. Back defending was Hagen. Ellie Reed has come off. Ball driven in again. So the direct game is going to be on display. Can they pull one back? The shot is blocked. Rapinoe, shot is blocked. Gets another one off the post. And that would have changed the dynamic of the final 6 minutes here.
Oh, this is hard to do, to hit this corner. She actually hits that upper V exactly on it. My goodness.
Driven in. Nogueira threw her head at it. That's why she's been brought on, to provide some aerial presence. Cross is blocked. It's helped on. Barnhart is going to get there, who goes up in a maze of bodies.
So with Nogueira coming on, they switch to a 3-back for Seattle. Nogueira will come in that midfield. So most likely a 3-3-4 is what we're looking at for Seattle, or a 3-4-3.
'85th minute. Kansas City trying to hang on here to take home the NWSL title. They ended second during the regular season to Seattle, who was 16-2-6 and won the Shield for the best regular season record. Holiday. And they've gotten her on the ball at the right times, because she is the decision maker. Solo. Kawasumi down for Seattle. Goebel to Little. Rapinoe on the far side of the field, headed out by Sauerbrunn, living up to the NWSL Defender of the Year award. In it comes again. It's steered wide. Seattle corner. Kawasumi to take it. Time running out on the Seattle Reign. Driven in towards the 6. Nogueira off the crossbar. Second chance, she's brought down. Seattle wants a penalty. Barnes' shot is blocked. And it goes. Who else but Megan Rapinoe has made it 2-1 here in the 87th minute.
And this is why Nogueira was brought in. So good on set pieces, fighting through that one. You can see there's a scramble in the box there. And the goal from Rapinoe. Barnhart caught behind the traffic. And now we've got a game.
88th minute. They've got a couple of minutes here to do it. And all of a sudden, the Starfire soccer complex has come to life here. Pelbit, Hagen just helps it forward. Holiday presses. Here's Winters now. Seattle needs to get it forward. Rapinoe flicks it on towards Little.
And you figured really the way back in this game with how organized Kansas City has been as a set piece.
Kim Little. Rapinoe. Nogueira's there again. She's caused problems. Winters with a shot is blocked. Winters again now, top of the box. Rapinoe shot, took a deflection. Fishlock was in there, but Barnhart gets there first. 3 minutes of additional time in this one. Laura Harvey and Seattle have 5 minutes to get it tied up here. Be a throw in for FC Kansas City. Holiday. Hagen has certainly done the running and the work, has struggled a bit holding the ball. Here's Rapinoe. Marked by Leanne Robinson. Winters. Boskowski broke it up like she has broken so many plays up today. Rapinoe, Little, dances away from two. Winters, an opportunity to get the cross in, overhit it with players at the back post.
And that was a good opportunity. Sucked him in on the near post, trying to find that back post, and just let down technically on that.
Nicole Barnhart off the goal kick.
And this is where playing at home has such an advantage. The crowd on their feet, you feed off that energy.
Barnhart has been the understudy to Hope Solo. Well, today she could prop herself up, winning an NWSL championship over her goalkeeping counterpart on the U.S. national team. Here is Hope Solo. Barnes. Lapelbit. Nogueira. Barnes, we are now in stoppage time. Boskowski again.
What a good defensive win by Boskowski there to break that up. And you're going to see Hope all the way forward. She's so good with her feet, playing as a center back almost, or a second sweeper.
Sauerbrunn goes up. Rapinoe. Those two attack it. Sauerbrunn with her hands on her knees right now. There's a heavy collision between those two. Lauren Barnes. Rapinoe. Still time to pull this thing into a 2-2 draw for the Seattle Reign. Kim Little. Whips it in with her left foot. Nogueira lays it down. Shooting opportunity for Fishlock, and she pulled it wide. Tremendous hold-up play.
And what a change Nogueira has provided to this game. Little finding her on that little hold-up, and a nice ball. Perfect pace for Fishlock. And just can't get it on frame. And with all that traffic in front of you, you just want to get it on frame. A deflection could happen.
Holiday fouled by Nogueira. FC Kansas City going to get a free kick.
Nogueira going in. I think that's one you just say play on, especially as much as this referee, Margaret Domka, has let things play on in the final minutes. Both of them are challenging for it. Because look how this just becomes a game killer. All the momentum flying towards Seattle. And now everything slows down to the pace Kansas City wants it at.
Look who's taking the free kick. Holiday all the way back to take it. Will knock it towards Hagan. FC Kansas City trying to manage this out. It is a Seattle throw. They got to get it forward here. Almost at the point where we will pick up the third minute of stoppage time. Winners. Long ball driven forward towards Nogueira. She flicks it on. It's a shooting opportunity. Rapinoe pulled it wide with her left foot. She came up with the spectacular in the semifinals to provide the game winner. And it's not for lack of effort from Megan Rapinoe. The whistle blows. FC Kansas City. It is mission accomplished. They have won the 2014 NWSL Championship. Vlatko Andonovski and FC Kansas City have won their first title. It's 2 goals from Amy Rodriguez, a 2-1 win over the Seattle Reign. FC Kansas City are winners.